Greetings humans, Spinning Mantis here with a new video, a guide for new players to The Long Dark. This episode focuses on food and the calorie value versus weight of the food. Just thought it'd be interesting to let you know what's the best stuff to get, the best stuff to stock up on, what to leave behind if you are overburdened and stuff like that. So let's start with the good stuff. The food item that has the best calorie versus weight in the game is actually the salty crackers. I don't have any in my inventory here right at the moment, but the salty crackers give you 6,000 calories per kilogram. So if you had enough boxes of salty crackers to have a kilogram of them, that'd be 6,000 calories. It's actually the best in the game. The thing about the salty crackers, though, is it makes you thirsty. It makes you very thirsty, so you'll have to drink more water with the salty crackers. So that's sort of like, even though it's really good calorie value, it has like a bit of a nerf to it to balance it out. Second to the salty crackers is actually something that's much more common and easier to use. It's the energy bar. The energy bar, if you have a kilogram of the energy bars, it is 5,000 calories, so that's really high calorie per weight. I'm going to suggest carrying as many energy bars around as you can when you're out and about and adventuring in the game. So that is a super item to have. 500 calories for such little weight. And just in case you don't know metric, I don't really know metric very well at all, but you'll see there 0.22 pounds. A standard piece of meat in the game is 2.2 pounds, and if you have metric on, that will be 1 kilogram of food. So approximately 2.2 pounds equals 1 kilogram. So when I'm talking about how many calories per kilogram, you see here cooked rabbit has 450 calories per 2.2 pounds, so that's 450 calories per kilogram, whereas this guy, the energy bar, it's 5,000 calories per kilogram. So really good stuff to have and carry around. Past that, the best items are MREs, of course, which are very rare. Not only does that have great calories per weight, but it's big. It's like almost a whole day's worth of calories in there, 1750. So it's not like teeny tiny or anything. That's the problem with the jerky, but the next one on the list is the jerky. It's very light and has good calorie value, but there's not a ton of jerky in there. So both the MRE and the jerky give you 3,500 calories per kilogram, which is excellent. After that, it's the granola, gives you 3,000 calories per kilogram, and the same is the cattail at 3,000 calories per kilogram. That's really good. Always pick up the cattail stalks when you can. Great calorie value per weight, and they just stack in one neat little stack like that. So that's also really good to have, good value. And then also at the same is the condensed milk. I may have done the conversion wrong on this, but it's approximately also 3,000 calories per kilogram. So that is excellent. Those are all the good foods, the ones that it's worth to carry around when you're leaving to go on a mission. Then there's a couple ones that are kind of middling. The candy gives you 2,500 calories per kilogram, and then a little less than that is the pork and beans at 2,400 calories per kilogram. So those are kind of like a little more meh I would say over 3,000 calories are the good ones. So candy and pork and beans, not quite as good. Now these are, I'm going to show you what the naughty foods are. In general, take a look at the meat. That's 1 kilogram of meat, 450 calories. It's really low. 800 calories, really low. So the meat in the game, it's not traveling food. It's stored at home if you're going to be stuck inside all day. End of the day kind of food. So hoard that at your base. The meat, it's really not weight friendly for you to be hauling that around as like expedition food. So all the meats are actually on the naughty list. I'm not saying don't use these items or don't make these items. It's just you don't want to burden yourself by carrying a lot of them around, because they are very heavy for how many calories they have. So the rest of the naughty foods are, I will do these in reverse order of, how inefficient they are calorie-wise. Surprisingly, at 1,800 calories per kilogram is the peanut butter. In real life, everyone thinks, that's like the best survival food. It is a very good survival food, but not better than those other things in the game. So, on the list of don't carry it around, leave it at home, actually is the peanut butter at 1,800 calories per kilogram. The next worst food per weight is the dog food. I don't like eating dog food anyway, so if you have to leave something behind, it's too heavy, leave behind the dog food. Not very efficient weight per calorie wise. After that, the least efficient and the worst food is the tomato soup. Very little calories for the weight. That's down to only 1,200 calories per kilogram. And the worst, now I didn't do the conversion on the sardines. That's 0.22 for 300 calories. And what else is 0.22? 300 calories. The pork and beans was 2,400. So that's actually pretty good. Sardines are maybe just a little under 3,000, so they're actually on the good list. Sardines, lots of calories for little weight. Very nice. So the next on the bad list is the tomato soup at 1,200 calories, which I said. And then the worst in the game is Pinnacle Peaches. Heavy as heck for not that many calories. I always have said in my walkthroughs, like, Pinnacle Peaches, lame. Doesn't mean you shouldn't loot them and bring them back to your home or anything like that, but if it you shouldn't go out on expeditions carrying around Pinnacle Peaches as food. And I would suggest if you're going out on a big gathering mission and you're going out and looting a whole bunch of stuff, and that's the point of the day, and you do find Pinnacle Peaches, what you do is you eat those first. You eat that as your meal out on the day, and then you don't have to lug it around, Same thing with cooked meat. Like I said, the cooked meat's very inefficient. Its weight. So I was just ragging on the Pinnacle Peaches, it's only 900 calories per kilogram, while rabbit meat's only 450 calories per kilogram, and the deer meat, which is the best meat, is only 800 calories per 800 calories per kilogram. So Pinnacle Peaches and all the meats are, store them at your home base, eat them when you're at the house, don't take them out on expeditions. That's my general advice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to dump a few things out and give a suggested sort of loadout for when you're going out on expeditions. So we're going to put the candy bar away. We're actually going to put the condensed milk, of course the dog food. We'll actually put the granola bar. We'll keep the MRE, buy Pinnacle Peaches, pork and beans, rabbit meat, tomato soup, venison cooked. So I would suggest sort of this be all that you take. Let's even go. That's just way too many calories, way too many things to carry. So we will just, yeah, let's go to 20. So something like this, a bag of jerky, a couple energy bars, the MRE is your ultra emergency food, sardines, all these lightweight per calorie things. This is your super emergency food. Take one soda. Don't take a bunch of sodas, but one soda will help you in a pinch. If you do happen to run out of water, it will quench your thirst and give you a little boost of calories. So I would suggest maybe taking something like this, and that's it when you're leaving for an expedition to go gathering. And you're going to be bringing a bunch of heavy stuff back. Stay as light as possible. What I have here would probably, last maybe even 3 days. You'd be able to get by in 3 days with all those cattails, and MRE would take care of a day and stuff like that. If you could find just a few more things, you could survive for several days on this. So, don't go out with carrying a bunch of needlessly heavy stuff if you're just going to be going out and gathering stuff and bringing it back to your base. Other than that, I would say, travel with right around a gallon of water. That again will probably keep you for 2 days. If there's a horrible emergency, all this stuff here should be enough food and water for 2 days solid. If you really got lost out somewhere and couldn't get back to your base and you're not looting anything new or good. So that's what I would suggest doing as far as food goes. Of course, gather every piece of food you find, bring them back to your base. On lower levels, I don't think there is food poisoning, so on lower levels, go ahead and take with you the worst condition food first. Like if something's 23% good, take that with you and eat the food that's going to expire first on the lowest level, like on Pilgrim. I'm pretty sure there's food poisoning starting at Voyager in the top 2 levels of difficulty, so that would not be the same strategy for there. At those levels, when things get pretty bad, you might just want to let them rot or throw them away and eat stuff that is fresher. So I believe that is it as far as food goes. Procuring it, get out there and search every little nook and cranny. Use your lantern, squat down and crouch, look under things. You'll often find cans hiding under beds, on the floor, in strange spaces. Get out there and do that. As far as sustainable food goes, the easiest thing that you can do is build snares. All you need is just the junk wood and some gut. Put them together, you've got a snare. Go out and find one of the areas where you've seen rabbits, watch the way they run, lay down a minimum of 3. You actually probably want more than 5 snares and kind of saturate an area with a bunch of snares. Go out there, get your rabbit meat. Not a ton of calories, but that will keep you going if you're in a deep game where you've lived 120 days and there's no more canned food left in the game. Do that. I would say probably don't waste your rifle bullets on deer. Build the bow. Go ahead and build the survival bow and arrows. Once you get to an area where you can build arrowheads in the forge, Desperation Point, I think it's called, something like that, and then hunt the deer and even rabbits with the bow and arrow. Save the rifle for when you do have to fight wolves and for killing them. So that's how you can sort of sustain yourself after all the canned foods run out. But I think for most people playing, especially on easier difficulty levels like Pilgrim, that is all you're going to need to sustain yourself through the game. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that this was helpful. If you thought so and enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you soon in another informational guide for the long dark. See ya. Namaste.